So anyways, let's just jump into it. Hello, welcome or welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be addressing some of the frustrations I have with my job currently. And then a little bit of frustrations from every other job that I've ever had. Because I'm just overworking for people. It's just bullshit. Literally constant bullshit. You never get paid enough. And nothing ever changes. If you didn't know, I am a registered dental assistant. I don't really even want to number these, but it's just like frustrations that I have. First thing that I have written down is you're making somebody richer. You're literally making somebody else's American dream come true. They own a business. You're their worker that they pay hourly when they're getting hundreds or thousands of dollars per the jobs that you're doing, and you're pretty much doing the majority of the work. I don't know how it adds up. And then also, I don't know how these employers can actually feel good about themselves and their business knowing that you're barely even paying your employees a livable wage. And I kind of mentioned it, but they never want to pay you what you want to get paid, or they never want to pay you what you're worth. They always want to pay you well below what you're worth. The situation was, I recently asked for a raise because inflation, baby. Everything's going up. Rent, food, gas has been going up and down. Like, there's so many different things, but it's like pretty much the cost of living for every little thing that you need to live for. Everything costs so much more money than it did so many years ago, and we're not making enough to even afford it. I live farther than everybody else at my job. I know it's not a reason to get paid more or whatever, but it's like, I live in Dallas. Yeah. I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I work like 4 or 5 cities over from where I live. And it's like, thought about it a bunch of times, and I'm like, I just need to look for something that's literally over here that's kind of like the same kind of thing that I was already doing. But just stressful thinking about going to a new environment, having to train, and then possibly not vibing with the new employees that you're gonna, be working with, or the doctor. I don't know. It's really good to step outside your comfort zone, but then in certain situations, like thinking about looking for a new job, and not even in just dental assisting, I really want to work from home job. Fuck leaving, fuck dealing with traffic. I'd rather be at home with my cats, chilling, have my fucking coffee just right there. Literally not having to deal with kids that just don't want to listen, not having to deal with their parents. It'd just be nice. Literally save money in another aspect of life. Like not having to get up, go deal with traffic. Yeah, I don't know. I know people talk about it's hard to separate work from home whenever you work at home, but it's like, well, I'd like to try it. I've even thought being an Amazon delivery driver would actually be fun too. There's a dentist on every corner in Dallas. Somebody was just telling me recently that there's more dentists than there are McDonald's in Texas. So don't worry about finding a dental job if you're struggling. If you want my real legit advice on being a dental assistant, I know you don't want to hear this, but I would just recommend don't fucking do it. It's stupid. The doctors are fucking rude. Even these places that you end up liking working at, the doctor still ends up being a fucking dick. Whether it's a woman or a man. And it's just like, I don't know. I didn't believe it whenever I became an assistant, but somebody told me don't do it because they literally expect you to work all the time, never take off, and like pretty much be an ass kisser all the time. And that's what it is. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But if you have other options where you can make more and maybe even not work with people directly like this, I would say do it. Dude, being an assistant, yeah, I'm happy I'm an assistant. I make decent money, but they treat you whenever you're an assistant is just kind of bullshit. Sorry. It is what it is. Even at the practices that you end up liking. Asian doctors, I've said this in one of my other videos, they're the best doctors to work for. They're really efficient. They're not sitting there telling you, explore, mirror, and but this is one thing that pisses me off whenever I'm doing treatment. And I mean, I get my job, my whole job is literally to hand the dentist tools. I guess you could say I have a problem with authority, but it pisses me off whenever I'm in treatment or I'm just literally sitting and looking in the patient's mouth with the dentist, and then the doctor's like, hand me this, or then he's saying it by name and it's like, filling. I know what the fuck is next. You don't need to say it out loud. And it makes me mad too, because it's like, this is coming from somebody that can't even set up the rooms for themselves, for the treatment that they're doing. Stop barking commands at me, and like, it doesn't make sense to me whenever you can literally turn around and grab it yourself, or when it's right there, you can grab it yourself. You don't need everything handed to you like a little fucking kid. Sorry. You don't. So, next thing I have on my list, they hire lazy people. And by this, I mean like, okay, if you're somebody that I work with, please click the fuck out of the video and mind your own business now. Thanks. Bye. So, it's kind of stupid to me because, okay, we needed another worker because they're scheduling so many patients, which is like, they're pretty much working us like, they're working us to death. It's like, it doesn't even make sense the way they're scheduling it. There's not even enough people to patients. There's more patients than there are assistants. It's like, how does this make sense? But anyways, they hire lazy people. So we had this chick that worked with us like a year and a half ago. She had a baby. She left. She hasn't worked the whole time because she's been, whatever, raising her little baby. She comes back. Mind you, before she came back, she would call in a lot. I mean, yeah, I understand you're pregnant, but she would call in a lot. It would be really fucking busy days. And then, like, the last time she called in, she was like, okay, I'm calling in and I'm leaving. I'm taking maternity leave a month early or something. And then we just never heard from her again until like a year and a half later when they put up job postings looking for a new assistant. They asked me if they could bring her back, and I was like, well, I mean, I don't care. It's y'all's decision, but y'all know what the situation was when she was here. Whatever. They bring her back, and one thing I don't get, okay, every job I've ever had, like literally, first job was Pizza Hut, second job was Studio Movie Girl, third job was Green Spot, fourth job was becoming a dental assistant. And then I've had like, small little jobs that didn't work out, like McDonald's and selling perfume or something for some scam thing. But anyways, at all the jobs I've ever had, I could literally walk in there today and have my old position back. Because I know what to do. I know how to work the computers, I know how to take orders, I know how to answer phones, I know everything that I did at all my previous jobs. But she apparently forgot how to do everything for assisting. And I'm like, wow, how the fuck do you literally forget everything? And I find it just fucking complete bullshit because like, okay, how the fuck did you forget everything? And we have to retrain you from zero? That's bullshit. I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. I've seen it before where temps will come in and then if they don't want to do a procedure, they'll just be like, oh, I don't know how to do that. So then the whatever assistant that's there will usually have to step in for them. I feel like this chick is just telling us that she doesn't know how to do half this shit when she really actually does. And it's like, I don't know, I can't help but think like, okay, she's fucking us all over. Herself, me, everybody. Our job isn't even that hard. Literally bring back the patient whenever they get there, take their x-rays, do their cleaning, do whatever, you know. A patient gets there, you don't let them sit in the waiting room for a long time. You go and get them as soon as you can. If you have a room available, go get them, start taking x-rays. You fish it with your time. She's not like that. She'll wait 5 minutes and it's like, you're fucking us all over. You're fucking yourself over. And then it's really stupid to me because like they will literally, it'll be like a busy morning on an ortho day, they will literally be having her do paperwork. And it's like, you're worrying about fucking paperwork. And really that's some shit that, it doesn't make sense why somebody that doesn't even know how to do any of her job things is looking over paperwork to make sure y'all are gonna get paid for these walkouts whenever she can't even do walkouts on her own. It doesn't make sense. But the doctor said something to me like, oh, we got 2 or 3 claims back over the last 2 or 3 months. And it's like, I've been working there for 3 years. Then they're trying to blame some shit on me that somebody else did. And it's like, I didn't do that. Y'all think I need to practice some shit? Y'all think I need to practice making treatment plans because you got something back from insurance? Tell me this. Enlighten me. How the fuck is the treatment plan wrong if your fucking wife checks their treatment plan before she shows them to the parents or has them sign? I know that I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm getting blamed for something else that somebody else did. Pretty much, I get blamed for a lot of stuff that this new chick does, which is bullshit. I've been there for 3 years. You would be getting claims back from the last 3 years, not from the last 2 or 3 months. It doesn't make any fucking sense. At my job, they're really strict about us not taking off work, whatever, bullshit. Any other place would hire, they have a temp agency they can call, they can get an assistant. You need to take off, good, go do your thing. Those offices are badass. In fact, I worked at one before I worked at this one, but it was a toxic work environment. I wasn't gonna go work at a bunch of other offices trying to find the one that worked for me at the company. So I left, but I was getting good money. Pretty much my coworker said that she needed to take off work so she could go on a field trip with her little kid. And the next day she came back and she had a new car. I only have one car that I've ever got from a dealership that my dad bought me. And as far as I know, whenever you buy a car, it's not just like, oh, you go and pick it up that same day. They have to get it ready, they have to get paperwork done, whatever stuff with the bank done, so you go and pick up the car the next day. Did she really just take off work to get a new car? Because, I don't know. Shit like that, not being able to be straight, and it's like, dude, she's a year younger than me. Maybe I used to do this at the beginning too, but I feel like I didn't. She sets stuff down, and then she doesn't wrap the trays, or she'll put stuff in the, ultrasonic cleaner and then she'll just leave it there sitting and she won't bag it and then she'll leave it for me to bag or the trays for me to bag and it's like, what the fuck? Do your fucking job. Don't fucking leave shit for other people. Why is it fair for me to be super efficient, get all my work done, and then I have to finish your work too? That doesn't make any sense. You need to be efficient enough to clean the room, set it up, and then clean up your tools afterwards, especially if you have a whole hour. God. I remember whenever I first started training, they made such a big deal out of like literally turning rooms over within like 5 minutes and I never understood why. Now I fucking get it. I'm gonna just go ahead and mention this, but there was years ago, I was moving into the apartment that I live in now. We live on the highest floor that you can live at these apartments, so I'm not gonna make my boyfriend move everything by himself. Plus, they have elevators, but they literally only have like 2 or 3 elevators, and they're not near our apartment. So whenever we move practices, guess who was moving all the shit? Me and that other assistant. Okay, so pretty much I needed to take off work to move into this apartment. We live on the highest floor. I'm not about to make my boyfriend do that. Doesn't make sense. Plus, I helped them move their practice to their new practice, and it took us multiple people, so I don't fucking understand why they expect everything for my boyfriend to do everything for us. So, and mind you, whenever we moved into this apartment, I want to say like we gave 2-3 months notice to my job, actually. I take that back. And you know what the doctor says to me? She says, you can't take off that week because school is out. This fucking still pisses me off and enrages me to this day because it's like, what the fuck? So, she wouldn't let me fucking take off. She told me no. Well, guess fucking what? Her, I'm gonna have to take off regardless. Sorry, it is what it is. She just wouldn't take no for an answer. And I mean, I told her, well, you may say that I'm not gonna take off, but I'm gonna take off anyway, or something kind of like that. It is what it is, and I'm never taking no from them for an answer ever the fuck again. Especially if it's whenever I tell you that I need time off, and I'm giving you months of notice, you're not telling me no. Sorry, it's just not happening. That still just pisses me the fuck off to this day, because it's like, I have something very important that's probably not gonna happen for a good while again, and I can't take off to do it. That shit alone made me want to fucking quit this job. And the way that the doctors treated me at the beginning of this job, like, not the nicest. They would belittle me, talk down to me, and make me feel fucking stupid. Is a red flag immediately. If they tell you you can't take off, and especially if you're getting months of notice, you can fucking rearrange that day and change the schedule. Or, better yet, just like any other practice would normally do, hire a temp assistant. Simple as that. If you're not gonna let your employees off to do their own personal things, you're gonna have them calling in. I'm sick. I'm not coming in. Then it kind of makes me mad. Recently, I asked for a raise. The doctor told me I had to wait 3 weeks because he's working on something. And you know what? He comes back to me and he says, I can give you 75 cents for a raise. And I'm like, literally, I'm complete 100% transparency and honesty. I was embarrassed for the fucking doctor in that moment. I was like shocked, embarrassed, just like, wow, y'all value me at that rate, huh? 75 cents, I can't even get a full fucking dollar. And then y'all literally will have 4 patients at the same fucking time when I'm the only assistant, and I get only 75 cents, but so much is expected out of me. I'm the first one there in the morning that turns on everything. One of the doctors even told me at one point, I need to get there earlier because I need to make sure that I'm able to put the nose cones out for the cleanings. And it's like, that is something that could take 2 seconds whenever we're about to clean. But 75 cents, just like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I was like really disappointed. That killed my vibe. I literally left my fucking apartment early that day just to fucking be told I'm getting a 75 cents raise. And the worst part about it, my boyfriend was leaving for Las Vegas that day, so our goodbye sucked. And I felt shitty about that, and I regret leaving fucking early. I got told a 75 cents raise. And I live in Dallas. I live 4 or 5 counties over. And I'm expected to be there early in the morning. I don't have kids unlike everybody else. And then another thing he mentioned, which really kind of made me mad, I'm like, ugh. So usually whenever I'm on my lunch break, anytime I would eat in the little employee lunchroom, break room, whatever the fuck you call it, he would always have to say some stupid shit like, oh, that looks good, like about my food or my drink or whatever. And personally, I fucking hate small comments, especially for men. Shut the fuck up and move the fuck on. I don't want to hear it. Sorry. Brings me back to when I worked at a gas station. Guys would always have to say something about your shirt or whatever. And it's like, can you just fucking stop being creepy and move the fuck on? Thanks. Well, anyways, he always has to say something to me. So you know what I love to do? I love having my AirPod Pros and just putting them in my ear, noise canceling, because I don't want to fucking hear you talk. I don't want to hear you think. But one day I was doing the schedule. This is during a lunch break, so we don't have any patients. I mean, it's like probably like 12, 20, 30, 40, whatever. Somewhere in between there. And apparently, which is funny because I looked at him, he tried to say something like, oh, I don't want you wearing AirPods whenever you're clocked in because then I can't talk to you. And it's like, you can't just go over and fucking, I don't know, tap me like that? Or like, hey, I can't wear my AirPods whenever we don't even have patients, which is bullshit. That's another thing I don't like. I feel like one of these dentists, he just feels like he needs to be in control of everything. And then when something goes wrong, he'll try to give you some stupid ass bonk explanation that actually doesn't make any fucking sense. And one day we had a problem with the piano. I've been dealing with this piano for the last 2 years, as long as we've had our new little practice. And then this motherfucker will try to say, oh, it's the way you turned it on. You need to wait 5 minutes for it to turn on. I turn this shit on every day for the past 2 years. I've never had this fucking problem. Stop coming up with bullshit. Or, oh, I just want to show you this. Or, oh, something got done wrong once, so we gotta tell everybody and make sure that they know that it's their problem too, even though they had nothing to do with it. It's like, I don't know. That's one thing that has pissed me off from past jobs. When I worked at the gas station, the owner would always send texts about things getting stolen, like food, drinks. And it's like, bitch, just call me out by name if you want to fucking say that I'm stealing Dr. Peppers and croissants. Just say it! Or maybe everybody was stealing shit, I don't know. But I feel like she would be really specific about certain things, and it's like, just fucking say it. Stop fucking trying to sugarcoat it. If you're fucking direct with people about what the fuck they're doing wrong, they'll stop. You have to include everybody in it. It's like, well, it's pretty much just like a blanket response to everybody. Like, oh. And then you have people thinking, oh, they're probably not talking about me. Or you have everybody thinking they're talking about me, but they just don't want to address me directly. If you're an owner of a company, address fucking people directly, because that shit will fix the problems like that. But if you're doing it as a group, don't be surprised when the fucking problems keep persisting. It's just like, with the mansplaining, or being barked at to do this or that, or one thing that fucking pisses me off. You don't need to fucking directly stare at what I'm doing on the computer until I click and do it. Fucking go on about your shit. Do your exam. Stop fucking worrying about what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know. Literally feeling like you need to micromanage every little thing that I'm doing, and then watching what exactly I'm doing. It's just like fucking, it's annoying. It makes me not want to be there. And personally, I don't like making eye contact with people, especially the doctors that I work with. Unless you're like my boyfriend or somebody, I don't like making direct eye contact. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like being watched over like a fucking hawk. Sorry, I'm a fucking 27-year-old woman. I don't need to be watched. So I got sick like probably a month or so ago, and like I was puking my brains out, to put it short and simple, and like I got severely dehydrated. I lost like 20 pounds. I was on the brink of fucking death, to say the least. But anyways, whenever I was out sick, I've only called in sick once, and that's when I had COVID. Mainly, the reason why I even called in is because I didn't want anybody to die. I work with kids. Normally, I would work through being sick because I wouldn't have an option to take off, because my job doesn't let me take off work, even if I'm sick. But whenever you're throwing up, you're working in people's mouths, that's not something you're gonna risk. So I was like, nah, not today, Satan, not today. So we didn't do that. So I ended up calling in sick. Whenever I got sick with COVID, this really fucking pissed me off. They were pretty much trying to force me to go back into work sooner than I was ready. I did not feel back to normal. I did not feel completely better, and they were trying to force me to go back to work. Well, guess what? I went and got my COVID test, and it came back positive still. So I didn't go back to work whenever they wanted me to. And that kind of shit, trying to force me to go back to work. And then whenever I got sick last, one of the doctors brought me medicine and all this shit, and it's just like, y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are really ridiculous. Trying to force me to get back to work just because y'all are worried about losing money, because y'all are fucking stupid and y'all schedule like idiots. It's just like, that's not my fucking problem. If you're literally so specific about shit that you can't even hire a temp assistant, that sounds like a fucking personal problem. It's like, you better get your ass up and get ready to work today because I'm not coming in. But yeah, it really made me mad for COVID. Like, the woman doctor was just trying to make me come back sooner than I was ready. I actually went in and edited the test results because I'm not going back to work if I don't feel good, even if that shit says I'm negative. So I wouldn't fucking change it to positive. And guess what? I didn't go back to work because fuck them. They got me fucked up. You're not gonna fucking bring me, say that I need to come back to work before I'm ready. Sorry. But the next thing I have written down is constant bullshit that never changes. Such as mainly the fucking schedule. I don't know why the fuck they think it's okay to literally have multiple patients, more patients than assistants, in one row. It doesn't make sense. And then if you're gonna schedule siblings, literally schedule them under each other so then we have a full hour instead of next to each other, because 30 minutes for 2 patients doesn't make any sense. Especially if it's one assistant having to do x-rays and the cleanings. This is bullshit that never changes. The doctor tries to act like, oh, I'll talk to the front about it, but it's like, who the fuck told the front to even schedule like this? Why are y'all breaking our backs if we're not even meeting our daily bonus thing? It doesn't make sense. I don't know, it's fucking stupid, literally. Working so hard, breaking our backs, and then getting told, oh, we're gonna schedule y'all and make y'all work like slaves, but no, you can't take off whenever you need, or we can't pay you more. Sorry. You can see, we're gonna make you see way more patients, but we're not gonna pay you more. Because it doesn't make sense to pay you more if you're doing your job. It's just like constant bullshit that never changes. The schedule always stays busy. There's always multiple patients next to each other, and it doesn't make any sense because why the fuck is there more patients than assistants whenever we're supposed to be the ones that's doing everything? And God knows the dentist doesn't want to do shit. Then it's annoying things like favoritism. I see it. I get it. Like obviously because there's 3 assistants, we have the main assistant, which isn't me, which is another assistant that was there years before I was, so she's obviously the most favorite. I'm the middle favorite, and then we have the least favorite, which is the brand new employee. I don't like the favoritism. I think it's stupid, it gets old fast, and it's like, but a part of being in this industry is being a good ass kisser, because if you're not a good ass kisser, you're probably not gonna be a good assistant, because that's kind of like a part of your job. I don't know, but I'll see the favoritism with just a lot of different things, for even something as simple as the way the doctor speaks to them, or the way the doctor will like literally clean up the room after she's done and she's like talking to parents, versus like if I go into the room and I'm with her, she's not cleaning up shit. She's leaving it there for me to do. Or one thing that I noticed that the doctor does that really pisses me off, and I don't understand the logic. Why the fuck are you drenching the fucking cabinets with Cabicide whenever the patients was not on the fucking cabinet? Yeah, the tray was, but the only thing that was touching the cabinet was the tray cover. So why the fuck is there Cabicide everywhere? And then there's just a few little pieces of like Cabicide or sprinkles on the chair, and it's like, that's where the fucking patient was. That's where all the spit is, toothpaste, and all that nasty shit. Why the fuck are you barely spraying anything on there? Oh my gosh, and then they'll come up with these stupid excuses like, it's always excuses to save money. It's never actually anything that has any kind of logic behind it. Like they recently came up with the Cabicide is messing up the dental chairs, so we don't want to use Cabicide anymore. We've been using Cabicide the last how many years on these chairs, and nothing is different. Everything's the same. So we're gonna use soap and water now on the chairs, and it's like, that's the germiest part of the fucking dental office. Besides where we have the hand pieces and suctions, and it's like, okay, we're gonna just use soap and water. Okay, I don't wanna pay for Cabicide. Them just trying to cut edges any way they can just to save that little bit of fucking $5 or whatever. It's just like, get the fuck over it. You literally signed up to become a dentist. You're gonna have to buy the Cabicide and all that other shit. So it's like, get the fuck over it. And the next thing I have written down is, overworking staff. Just scheduling way too many people, and then having the schedule so full that literally if there is an employee that is sick, that the other employee's just fucked because the way schedule is. It's just like unrealistic. Been in that position multiple times. The more I think about it, I don't want to work. I don't want to be a dental assistant in 5-10 years. I don't, sorry. It is what it is. I would much rather open my own business, which I'm working on my own things. It's just a very slow thing. Plus I'm lazy. I guess I'm just not motivated because I'm always dealing with all this bullshit at work. Pretty much I just feel overworked and just fed up. I'm fed up that nothing changes. I'm fed up that literally whenever I ask for a raise, it takes them 3 weeks to give me a reply, and it's 75 cents, which is bullshit. Sorry. It is what it fucking is. And then like other things like, damn, I was really thinking about getting a new car recently. I've been thinking about it for like a year, I'm not gonna lie, or maybe even longer. But the car is a lot of money, and with inflation going up, a lot of cars are worth more than the MSRP, so I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna keep my car because I can't afford a new car, and I don't want another payment. And then another thing too, I really want to get a new job, but now at this point in time, it's just not a good time to. Me and my boyfriend actually recently we pretty much just started looking into buying a house, so. And it obviously looks a lot better if you've worked at some place for a few years, you have the tax stuff to show them, versus like, not working at a place and just being like, oh, I've worked here for 6 months or a month. So that's just what kind of boat I'm in right now. Yeah, but pretty much there's a lot of bullshit that comes with working for somebody and owning your own business, but I feel like owning your own business is just so much more beneficial for you versus like, I mean, obviously not an employee as much as you. It's just so much more beneficial to work for yourself than work for somebody else. And I like to think if I was to have my own company and if I was to get to a point where I needed to hire somebody, I would take very good care of them. I've thought about it long and hard, and I've looked at all these other things that the jobs that I've had have done for employees and how badly they got treated, or just like getting fucked over on overtime, or if I ever get employees, I'm never giving no fucking 75 cents raise. That's not me. Sorry. Not gonna be doing that. If I give a raise, the least I will do for a raise will be like $1. So pretty much in the end of my video, I was just saying, yeah, fuck working for other people. It's just constant bullshit. Regardless of the company or place that you're at, it's just constant bullshit, it seems like to me. Don't get me wrong, there are some pretty great companies to work for out there. Just, I'm fed up. I'm hungry for my own growth. Fuck working for other people. It's just way more beneficial to have your own business, and yeah.